folks are coming in, welcome. My name is Erin, and this is our third session in the Holiday Harmony Studio series. As we get started, if you folks would indulge me, would you just do me a favor? And in the Q&A, just give me a 1 if you're joining us from like a desk office type situation, and give me like a 2 if you're joining us from home. Okay, so go ahead and give me a 1 if you're joining from the office. Give me a 2 if you're joining from home, and that will help me structure the session. Okay, so as you do that, I'm gonna get us started, and you can just start in a comfortable sitting position. And for this one, what we like to do, it's a breathing exercise. So you wanna see if you can get both of your feet on the floor. You wanna lift the chest. You wanna let the shoulders soften. And just let your attention shift to your breath. And we're going to start with belly heart breathing. So you can bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. And it doesn't matter which one, okay? So any hand can be on the top, any hand can be on the bottom. Eyes can open or close, whatever is comfortable for you. And if your eyes are open, I encourage you to tuck your chin, keep the chest lifting, and just have the gaze down away from the screen. So just use the ears for cues instead of the eyes. And just bring the attention to the breath. And we're going to notice the breath at the belly and at the heart. Noticing what happens when you breathe in. Noticing what happens when you breathe out. And it can be different for everyone. What's normal is to feel some expansion in the top hand as you breathe in. And then to feel sort of a deflation as you breathe out. And sometimes we don't get a whole lot of movement in the belly hand. So I'm going to encourage that next. So for this breath, as you breathe in, try to fill the belly. So feel that lower hand is going to feel the belly pressing in or pressing out toward it. And then the upper hand expands out. And then as you exhale, the heart comes down and the belly gently draws back. Try that again. Breathe in, the belly expands, and the chest expands. Breathe out, chest comes down, and the belly draws back. Again, breathe in. The belly expands. See if you can relax the abdomen. Let it expand a little more. Chest expands. Breathe out. The chest relaxes and the belly draws back. Let's do one more. And now we're going to bring hands to the chest. And for this one, this is anchor breathing. We're not trying to control our breathing at all, with the exception that we're breathing in and out the nose. So I just want you to let your breath be natural as you breathe in and out the nose. And let your attention rest in your heart. So it could be that you're just noticing like where your hands are in contact with your shirt or with your skin. Just noticing that sensation. It could be that you're noticing the movement of the chest as you breathe in and out. And if your mind starts to wander away from your anchor, which today is the chest or the heart, if your mind starts to wander away, that's totally normal. And we're just going to invite it back. So when you notice the mind thinking about something else, just invite it back to the chest. Just letting the attention rest there. There's a lot of information there for us. Again, it could be something we feel with the hands. It could be some movement we sense. Or maybe it's the heartbeat, right? Maybe you can feel the heartbeat. Noticing whether that heart is beating fast or slow. And when you're ready in your own time, just letting the hands come down, letting the body relax. And I'm just going to check your responses. Okay, so it looks like most folks are joining from the office. Okay, so thank you for that information. That is helpful. And we'll keep going. So from here, again, we're going to do that neck release that we did on Monday. So we're just going to imagine that the ear is dropping toward the shoulder. And your focus is not on how far down the ear can go, right? You're really just feeling the length of the neck. Just noticing if there's any tightness there. Letting the breath help you release. And inhaling, letting the head lift up. Exhaling, gently dropping over to the other side. And same thing, just noticing when you feel a stretch that feels right, and letting the breath guide you. So if you can't keep a nice, gentle, steady breath, maybe you're trying to stretch a little too far, and then you want to back out a little bit. And inhaling, bringing the head back to center, and then just taking a glance around the room that you are in. So gently turning your head from one side to the other. Just noticing where you are in space, right? Inhale, lift the head up. And then as you exhale, tucking the chin and keep the chest lifting. So the chest continues to lift up as the chin continues to tuck until you feel a gentle stretch on the back of the neck. We'll just breathe here. In and out. In and out. Inhale, lift the chest up. We're going to bring one arm up and reach it across the body. This arm stays straight. Other arm reaches forward and you bend the elbow. So just a nice stretch for the shoulder. What we do here is we use pressure. So the arm that's reaching across is pressing out. The arm that's reaching up is pressing back. And then as you press those forearms into each other, you lift up through the spine, draw the shoulder blades down, and take a couple breaths. You want to feel this stretch in the shoulders. Okay. Gentle breaths in and out. In and out. Nice. And from here, release. Shoulders up, roll them back. And again, up, and roll them back. Let's take it to the opposite side. So reaching across this way. I think I just did that side. So reaching the opposite way, reaching the other arm across, bending the other arm, pressing that forearm out and drawing the opposite forearm back. So that was actually a nice example of being out of my body versus being in my body. So I watched myself do the move on screen. And on screen, it's reversed, right? So then when I went to do the other side, I did the other side from what I saw, right? But when I checked in with what my body felt, I knew that that was not the side to do. So that's why it's really good to build some of these practices into our days, because it invites our attention back into our own bodies. And when you're ready, you can release. And then again, just inhaling the shoulders up and rolling back, sliding them down. From here, we're going to do cat-cow. So for cat-cow, again, we're bringing some movement in the spine. So you can interlace your fingers, press the palms out. As you inhale, the chest reaches up, the gaze comes up, the head drops back. And then as you exhale, you round and press the palms away from you. Moving with the breath, inhaling up, shoulders down, head back. Exhale to round. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale 1 more. And exhale to round. From here, release. And we're going to come to standing. So standing up. And for this one, you might want to we're going to do a balancing pose. So you can keep your chair handy if you like a little support with your balance. And I'm going to give us a few options. We're going to try dancer's pose. So for dancer's pose, you want to have the foot that's closest to the chair rooted on the mat, and then you're holding on for support. First step, you could just bring that other foot back behind you, tops of the toes or top of the foot if you've got your shoes on, touching the floor. And then we're getting a nice stretch along the front of the body, right? Front of this leg. And then you can just reach your arm back. So the elements of dancer are a balance and then also a stretch across the front of the chest. If you have a little further to go, you might try bending into that knee, reaching back and grabbing around your ankle. Right? And then the knee reaches back, the chest lifts up, and you balance here. If you're steady, you can let go of the chair. And from here, you can release. Come back into mountain so you have even weight on right and left foot. And then we'll take it to the other side. So if you're using support, you want the chair on the opposite side now, so you can balance on this leg. I'm gonna turn my body just so you guys can see the pose, since I showed it from the front the last time. So for this one, again, you can start just by stretching that leg back, and the toes are, the tops of the toes are on the ground, and you're just getting a nice stretch in the front of that hip. That's breaking up some of our, if we're sitting in our chairs all day, it's nice to stretch this area. And then if you feel good, you might want to just reach that arm back. And again, now you're getting a stretch across the front of the chest. And if you have a little further to go, you might want to bend in to that leg. I get a little wobbly when I turn to see if I'm showing up right on screen. We're going to lift that knee up, lift the chest, and balance here. Couple of breaths. And when you're ready, releasing that foot down and coming back to standing. And from standing, we'll come to seated. So to kind of balance out some of that opening of the chest, we're going to do a forward fold. And for the forward fold, you can stretch the legs out a little if that feels stable, and just start to slide your body forward, or you can keep the knees bent. So we're just folding down, letting the head relax. You can stay folded. I'm going to lift my head up just so you can hear me. So staying folded, taking a few breaths here. And from that forward fold, slowly coming up to sit. And in this seated position, just come into a comfortable sitting position. If it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. And we'll close with attitude of gratitude. So I invite you to bring someone or something to mind that you are grateful or thankful for. And it can be anyone or anything. And as you keep that person or that event or that place or that item, as you keep them in mind, just imagine them in as much detail as you can. it's a person, imagine that they're sitting next to you. If it's a place, imagine that you're there. If it's an item, imagine that it's close by. And just notice what you feel in your body as you imagine this person or this thing or this place for which you are grateful. And then when you're ready, if your eyes close, you can open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining our Holiday Harmony Studio series. And Jill will be here tomorrow, and I'll be here again on Friday.